Hello, everyone, and welcome to PWME News. That's ProWrestling.me news for the 27th of April, 2016. Not much going on in the news. We've got some Raw TV ratings to talk about. We've got a House of Hardcore event coming up in May to talk about. We're going to preview SmackDown. Ric Flair making some controversial remarks on SmackDown. Also going to touch on tonight's NXT. We'll be reviewing tonight's NXT as soon as the show finishes, or maybe an hour after, depending on Boom Boom's schedule and if he's eligible to be able to come on the show. I hope he is coming on the show, and I hope you're listening to the show. And we'll be listening to NXT review, Lucha Underground review also coming up sometime down this line. So while we're talking about news, we'll get down to the news before we do previews. So Titus O'Neil is officially back to the WWE after serving his suspension for grabbing the human toilet machine Vince McMahon's arm in an unscripted moment on Raw 2 months ago. He defeated Tyler Breeze, of course he did, in a dark match before the SmackDown TV tapings on Tuesday night in Manchester at the Verizon Wireless Arena. These days, places come up with some of the most strangest names of all time. Like, when I mean places, I mean venues, like buildings, like the O2 Arena. Like, it's called the O2 Arena because O2, which is a mobile providing company, they provide. For instance, if you want to buy a phone, there's lots of different phone providers you can go. You can go to Orange, you can go to Vodafone, T-Mobile, or O2. O2 is the biggest one, so they have their arena. So instead of having places called like Wembley Arena, like in England, we got Wembley Arena or the Manchester SEC Arena. You know, these days it's just companies taking over and making names. And speaking of news, I think the Orlando, Florida Arena, which the Citrus Bowl, has got a name change. I'll do some research on that, and I'll keep you updated for tomorrow's PWME news. I'll touch about that. But Titus O'Neil is back after serving his ridiculous suspension for some particular reason. What I don't know why he got suspended for that long, but at least he's back. He's making some money up in this bitch, which is always a good thing. But not Tyler Breeze. Do you feel sorry for him more than anyone on the planet? I mean, I was thinking when I was literally just sat there thinking the other day, is it actually a good thing? Like, we're all complaining about, Tyler Breeze hasn't won a match since about 1975. It's like over 50 losses. What happens if they start to talk about the fact he's 70-0 or 80-0 or fucking 250-0? And then when he gets that big win, it might mean something. It might be special. If you take your mind back a few years ago, maybe 8 years ago, MVP in 2008 and 2009, after his long run with the US Championship, he went on a massive losing streak, finally got the win back, and then became a big babyface. So maybe they're just going to beat Tyler Breeze down, make him heel, beat him down, keep him as heel, beat him down, keep him as heel, and then eventually get the win and turn babyface in the process. So that's why I'm not as angry and as aggravated as I possibly should be over the aspect of the way how Tyler Breeze has been treated as of late. But I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt because potentially it could be a great story. It really could. But we know WWE stories, they either don't get told or they suck. I'm not going to spoil any SmackDown spoilers. I'm going to give you a non-spoiler preview because, in my opinion, the night is dark and full of spoilers. I loved the first episode of Game of Thrones. If you didn't realize what the talking about there was, a remark from Ric Flair was made at SmackDown TV tapings last night. Already getting a massive amount of criticism from fans on Twitter and Facebook and all that shebang. Basically, during the in-ring segment with Dangerous Dean Ambrose, Natalya, Charlotte, and Ric Flair told Natalya to kill herself after she said that Bret Hart could beat him up. It's unknown, obviously, at this point of the game, whether this will be up on actually airing on the TV. Of the TV airing of SmackDown. Sorry, I'm just standing up right now as I'm wearing some stupid, ridiculous headset. And this boy is hotter than my nan in here right now. I'm not in the PWME UK headquarters. I'm in my bedroom again, recording PWME News. It's kind of the 3 o'clock is the kind of time and place now for PWME News. So if you just listen to this UK time, you want to be live, around about 3 o'clock is the time and place where I tend to do these shows now because no one's in the house. And literally, I was just finishing up Homeland. I'm up to Homeland Season 2, Episode 11. I got 10 minutes after that show. Then after that, I'm going to see if Impact Wrestling has been uploaded, and I'm going to check out Impact on Pop because I might do a review of that tonight, maybe before NXT. No promises there, but I am also halfway through Progress Wrestling Chapter 28 to review for this channel. So there is lots going on and to look forward to. So Ric Flair back to sort of summarize here, Ric Flair telling Natalya to kill herself. I'm pretty damn confident that will not be on television. If it is on television, surely that's going to be a TV-14 rated show, or at least a TV-14 rated segment. Because at the end of the day, that's disgusting. And even in the Attitude Era, I do not want fucking rivalries to get to the intense point of saying that they want to kill each other. That's ridiculous and ludicrous, and I hope it never happens again. And on to we're going to do some previews, or should we go to we'll do the TV ratings first. So TV ratings for the April the 25th edition of Monday Night Raw, which, by the way, I still have yet to watch and will not watch. I've watched clips on the YouTube channel. That's enough for me. I'm going to stick with good wrestling. And one of my friends sent me a text saying, because he started work at 7 a.m. in the morning, and if you live in England, you guys know Raw finishes 4:15 a.m. He sent me a text around about 7 a.m. in the morning. How was Raw? Shall I look forward to it whilst I'm at work? And I sent him a text saying, honestly, I don't know. A, because my internet broadband sucked dick. B, because of the point of view, I have watched the YouTube highlights because I'm uninterested. I don't care. I know we're heading into Payback. I'm going to watch SmackDown, which is usually the better show of the week, which is going to give me the wrap-up for Monday Night Raw in any way, shape, or anyway. So at the end of the day, watching Monday Night Raw, when it comes to my priority list, really is low on the bar. Because in the end of the day, why get myself angry? Why get myself aggravated when in the end of the day, there is so many different alternatives I can come on here and I can be happy. I can talk about how great that is, how great that was, what a great match, what a great moment. I can talk positively instead of being a negative Nelly and then getting complained at. But again, obviously, because it is a pro wrestling podcast, it is a pro wrestling.me is obviously all about pro wrestling. The main stories or main headlines or main shows that are going to draw well are going to be WWE shows. And obviously, I'm not an idiot. I have looked at the analytics of the channel, and I can see that WWE does draw better than anyone else minus Lucha Underground, which is a damn shame and a travesty. But it's just the way the cookie crumbles, and there's nothing we can do about that, which is the only reason, I promise you, I hand on heart, the only reason I watch WWE minus the pay-per-views. The pay-per-views tend to be good. The only reason why I watch WWE is because of this channel and because of Pro Wrestling.me, and I keep up on the news. Anyway, so I'm just going to summarize April for you guys as a whole when it pertains to the Raw TV rating. So we'll take you back to April the 4th, which is obviously the post-WrestleMania Raw. We're at a 2.93 TV rating. Week after that, we're down to a 2.50. Week after that, at the UK show, which I was at, three, Jesus H. Christ, the popsicle stick never, 2.32. And then this week's show got a 2.20 rating, which is a close to 25% decline from the post-WrestleMania Raw. And I said to you guys that Raw won't go below a 2.0, but I'm actually concerned. Well, I'm concerned. It's not that I'm concerned as in, I'd hate it if WWE went out of business. I'd hate it if TV ratings went down. The sadistic and narcissistic side of me actually wants the ratings to suck and to fail and to go down. But the other part of me, as I wouldn't say businessman, but as a guy who is part of this channel and gimmick, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the more people that watch Monday Night Raw means the more people that watch Monday Night Raw reviews. If you didn't watch Monday Night Raw, why would you check out the review? There is obviously a select few who only watch Monday Night Raw reviews because they don't watch Monday Night Raw, but it's a broader audience of people who actually watch Monday Night Raw. So this is a telling sign, 2.20. I actually wonder how much further and how much lower we will go. If you put in the comments how low you think this will go. Prediction, bold prediction for me. Next week's show will be a 2.28. Then we'll go down to a 2.15, then 2.08. And I guarantee for the next few months, we're going to be lingering and lollygagging around the 2s, the 2.0s, to the 2.4. I think 2.4 now is the max. That 2.32 rating, I think, is going to be the highest for a very long time. And I'm going to give you the hour breakdown. So the first hour was 3.263 million viewers, which is down 200,000 from last week. Same hour, of course. Second hour was 3.184 million, down 350,000 of last week. And the third hour got 2.938 million, which is down for 40,000 from last week. And at the end of the day, W is improving. Now, I'm not just saying this to say, just to please the the positive PTs and the W guys. But the direction that they're heading in and, the all-round direction of the company and as a product and as the roster and the direction they're taking several talents in, even though Raw has stunk lately, and I mean stunk, if you actually look at Payback as a wrestling card, it is one heck of a wrestling show. I mean, Reigns and AJ Styles is going to be a great match in the end of the day. Ambrose Jericho, great match. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, great match. Charlotte and Natalya, great match. Vaudevillains, Enzo and Cass, that could be entertaining. There is a good wrestling card, and I'm actually intrigued and mildly excited for this Sunday's Payback pay-per-view. But the Monday Night Raws are barely tolerable. Things need to shake up very quickly, but I like the new direction as we have a babyface authority figure. That helps a lot because it makes fresh matches. Instead of, as I said this on yesterday's show, instead of going through that authority figure, we're now going through fans, and it's how it should be. Fans are getting people over, not the authority. It's the way it has been for many years and the way it always should be, in my opinion. Moving on now to NXT tonight. Non-spoiler, of course. There'll be footage airing of, obviously, as you guys know, Samoa Joe's NXT Championship victory over Finn Balor from last week's NXT live event. That will be airing tonight on NXT. I do not know if it's the full match or if it's just a mini clip. However, there are also one more match which you should be excited over. We have Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Drifter Elias Sampson, and I wonder who will win that match. There is more chance of the Pope walking through that door, jerking me off right here, right now, live on this show, than the Drifter getting the win over Shinsuke Nakamura. Here's a question for you guys. Even though we've got Shinsuke Nakamura coming out and having, impressive squash matches, and then they are still impressive and enjoyable, and it's the spectacle of seeing Shinsuke Nakamura in a WWE ring, what do you think is the overall feud you want to see for Shinsuke Nakamura with the NXT talent available right now? I mean, maybe they gave the heel champion Samoa Joe the championship because they want to see a Nakamura Joe feud. Wouldn't that be awesome? Shinsuke Nakamura versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. We have got the NXT TakeOver show coming out soon, and I know they'll be taping at the Full Sail University very soon, sometime in May, so we'll be able to get a clearer and broader idea of what the challenger will be for the NXT Championship. Are we going to see Finn Balor stay at NXT? Is he going to be challenging his rematch? He'll probably be in NXT for the rematch, but probably be up on the main roster to come Payback. We'll talk about that a lot more closer to the actual Payback pay-per-view. I'm going to talk about some House of Hardcore announcing their lineup for the May the 7th event. That is in Niagara Falls, Ontario at the Scotia Bank Centre. What an absolute clusterfuck of a name. Anyway, there's damn good-looking card here, guys. I'm going to run through the whole card here. Make sure you head over to houseofhardcore.com if you're listening to this in Canada. I do not know at this moment of time if this will be an iPay-per-view. I remember House of Hardcore went for a stage as part of RF Video. They were making lots and lots of money. I don't know. Actually, that's not true. I take that back. I take that statement back. I retract it. I do not know if they're making money. But in the end of the day, I bought the shows. How about this? If you are a wrestling company out there right now, and if you guys are subscribed to Progress or ICW or ZZW or YourNanOnBikes.com, it's ran by PivotShare. PivotShare charges you nothing to run basically a VIP gimmick. It charges you nothing. All you have to do is upload, and they take a percentage of what you make. Why doesn't PWG have this? Why doesn't House of Hardcore have this? Why doesn't Ring of Honor have this? It costs you nothing, and you're going to make chunks and chunks of money. You tell me there's a network of all PWG shows ever released, and they give it to you for $4.99 instead of paying $15.99 for DVDs. That way they'll be able to be released quicker. Everything will be done quicker. It just makes logical sense. And how companies don't do it, how House of Hardcore do not have their shows taped or on TV or anything like this is ludicrous to me, and it aggravates me. It upsets me because I want the wrestling industry to make money. The more money and the more booming industry wrestling is, the more people who check out other alternatives. The more people who check out alternatives mean the more people who check out my alternative reviews. Simple as that. New Japan. That's kicked off big time over here in England, over there in Japan. It's kicked in America, sorry. Now, if you look, Japanese wrestling videos on our channel are up. It's good common sense. If you are listening out there and you are a wrestling podcaster, this is a tip to you. Cover New Japan Pro Wrestling. I guarantee if you start covering now, when that thing skyrockets, when it skyrockets and it becomes like the second alternative to WWE, you will be thanking me. I promise you that. We're going to go some live comments. Lennox Wilson, thank you very much. How do you bring back Cena and Orton without overshadowing the young talent? How would you bring back Big Match John and if you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, Randy Orton? And by the way, I'm going to get back to the House of Hardcore card. That is a great question. Well, we know Cena for sure is coming back on May the 30th, the Memorial Day edition of Monday Night Raw. But as for Randy Orton, this is difficult. This is a very on the spot question, which could be a stump the idiot, and I might actually make that a stump the idiot. John Cena, I'm expecting to come back with maybe as the challenger for the US Championship, or say he wants to face US Champion. That's an easy way to get it back. US Open Challenge was phenomenal. I was a big fan of it, and it was a great way to debut people. Also, what could we do with Randy Orton? What feud could you chuck him in with that would be interesting and something different that we haven't seen from Randy Orton? We could have him challenge Roman Reigns. That is a possibility. Now, I was a huge fan of Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton at the SummerSlam 2014 pay-per-view event. I thought that was one of the potential best matches of that show. Really underrated. Do that for me right now. Well, after this show finishes, please hit up your network. If you don't have the network, go to fucking watchwrestling.ch, whatever the fuck it's called. Hit up SummerSlam 2014 and rewatch that match. Damn, it was good. Randy Orton, in my opinion, is one of the very best professional wrestlers / sports entertainers on the planet. That's why I say if you build I'm not doing it to take the piss out of JBL. I actually believe if you do build a sports entertainer from the ground up, you do get Randy Orton. I am such a Randy Orton fan, it's not even funny. In the end of the day, when it comes to overshadowing young talent, I wouldn't mind, if he comes back a babyface, I wouldn't mind a Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Cena, who could he feud with? Who's a heel right now who he could feud with? You know, Roman Reigns, people would go berserk and batshit crazy if they saw Cena and Roman Reigns in the same ring. Who else is a heel right now that's on the top of the card? Baron Corbin, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, but that was a great question. I might do that as a stump to get it. Back to the House of Hardcore. So we have, this is a good card actually. We have Bull James, which is Bullshit Dempsey versus Eddie Kingston. Great. Colt Cabana versus Chris Hero. Moose versus Rhino. That sounds phenomenal. RG City versus Alex Reynolds versus Tony Nese. I'm a huge Tony Nese mark. Sami Callihan versus Rhino. I don't know if that was, this is fucked up because it says, ringsidenews.com. Fire whoever wrote this article. Who wrote this article? Steve Carrier, you should be fired, my friend. Extreme Rules mixed tag match. You have Tommy Dreamer and Mickey James versus Pepper Parks and Cherry Bomb. They're now of Impact Wrestling. Bobby Roode versus Eric Young. Special referee Jimmy Corderas. Please go out of your way, ladies and gentlemen, to buy the Jimmy Corderas book. I own that book, and it fucking is awesome. Probably one of the best reads I've ever had in my life. I fully recommend The Free Count by Jimmy Corderas. Bobby Roode, Eric Young, 3 Canadians in that ring, and fucking Bobby Roode and Eric Young have the history of having great matches dating to TNA, back to TNA days. Non-spoiler SmackDown preview time. This will air tomorrow on the USA Network. I will probably do a review of this show because I'm a big fan of SmackDown. I watch SmackDown more than Raw. We have a Miz TV with IC champ The Miz, Maurice, and the guest WWE Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns. Boo! We have the Ambrose Asylum, which I touched on earlier, with Ric Flair, Women's Champion Charlotte Natalya. The League of Nations versus US Champion Kalisto, Sami Zayn, Cesaro in 6-man tag. Why they're not building the Kalisto and Ryback feud for the Payback pre-show is beyond me. League of Nations, I have no time for. I'm a fan of them individually. I miss Wade Barrett more than anything in the world. I'm a fan of Bertie. I'm a fan of Sheamus. Rusev can go fuck himself. I'm going to be this. I don't care if anyone disagrees with me. I think Rusev sucks dick. Not literally sucks dick. He obviously doesn't suck dick. He's fucking Lana. I think he's shit. His promos stink. His entrance is generic. There's nothing to the guy. He's shit. I hate me all you want. My opinion, my show. I do not like Rusev. I think he sucks. There you go. Enzo and Big Cass versus Social Outcasts, obviously building to the Enzo and Big Cass versus Ward Villains feud at the Payback for the final of the Number Contenders tournament, which, by the way, has sucked. Apollo Crews versus Stardust in a highly acclaimed Raw rematch. Baron Corbin versus Damien Sandow, because obviously the match didn't take place on this week's edition of Monday Night Raw. So not much really going on news-wise here in the land of professional wrestling / sports entertainment, whatever the fuck can I call it. I want to thank Lennox Widdowson for the question. I'm going to check if you have any more live comments. I'm not expecting any. I know it's a really strange time for you guys to have a show live. I know you're not used to it. We've got some questions. So we're going to end with these questions. So if you are interested in keeping this show rolling, head over to the live questions. Would a John Cena and Randy Orton team work? I don't know because of the history. It is a good option, maybe chuck him in the tag division, but again, it would be overshadowing young talent. I think Cena could take a fall. I think Orton could take a fall. They could take a fall as a team, but who are you putting over? It's impossible for a tag team for both individuals to get over. Say for instance, here's a perfect example for you guys. Cena and Orton versus Reigns and Ambrose. What only Reigns or Ambrose could get over from that. All right, that's just my opinion on the situation. It may not upset you, but that's just my opinion. But it's a good question. Cena doesn't work on tag teams. That's from Victor Varela. Yeah, I think even though that does make sense, both men are getting on in age now. So again, it would make sense to slower the pace down, work a slower style, and I think it has a possibility. I'm not saying you're wrong, then X-Works, at all. I'm really not. But at the end of the day, I do not see them making as much money tag team wise as singles wise, and much money. You want Orton and Cena to be wearing different merch because Orton makes much money very highly for the company, as does John Cena. Lennox Williams, final question here: what are your thoughts on the Adam Rose situation? In the end of the day, I know he blasted the company, well, not the company, the wellness policy on social media in some shape or form. I did grab that, but at the end of the day, good for him for having the balls to do it. Really good for him. He had the balls to do it, and I respect that in a guy. I really do. But in the end of the day, I see Adam Rose as a main eventer? No. Does he have a spot on the card there? Yes. I see nothing wrong with Adam Rose. He doesn't offend me. I would much rather watch Adam Rose in a wrestling ring than Rusev. That's going to be that's my new thing. I remember Rusev coming out. I remember the O2 Arena. It was going to be Cesaro versus Rusev. Rusev music hit, and I tell you what, I groaned and moaned like a motherfucker. Not because heel heat, Rusev is the man. No, it's because he's like Baron Corbin. It's not good heel heat. Even though Corbin has impressed me on Monday Night Raw, even though I didn't actually see the. I need to rewatch the attack of Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler to be able to really give you my opinion on Baron Corbin. But as a whole, Corbin is a lot better than what he was this time last year. So that's it for live comments. Thank you very much for leaving live comments there, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. If you're listening to this on the YouTube channel after it airs live, make sure to have the KocoSports.net. That's KocoSports.net for the organizers of home for combat sports. And above all, where it's okay to be a damn passionate fan, make sure you watch NXT, Lucha Underground, and Ring of Honor tonight on the various American national television platforms. Support them there. Support the alternatives and support ProWrestling.me. This has been LK. Stay safe, stay well. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll be catching your asses down the line.